So thank you. Look, the element of looking at relationships and partnerships for me needs to be diluted into the two separate words. Within security services, we have strong client relationships, but actually those relationships normally are defined at a group level. So the relationship covers many of the different businesses that security services sits within in the wider construct of the banking world. So it's very important when looking at a relationship that you ensure that you tie that into the group relationship, both at the people dynamic. There are people relationships that drive this business forward, and we know will continue to drive this business forward in the future. But then there's also corporate relationships and those levels of different stakeholders, products, businesses, business lines, most in particular, that drive an overall relationship. It's very, very pivotal to ensure when looking at a relationship, you capture all of the different dynamics across the group. I think the more important element of relationships and partnerships is the partnership. What starts in any security services business is a client relationship, which you define into a partnership. And for myself, and I think the wider context of successful security services organizations, a partnership has to start with a common goal. You have to be working to a common objective, which is by definition going to mean that you have to have the level of transparency into what your strategies are, and you need to find the way in that client partnership that those strategies can be aligned. And really pivotal to any partnership is the time horizon. So you have to absolutely set a short, medium, long-term set of objectives and common goal, really shooting for the moon in the common goal. And during that time, your partnership will be tested. So it's very, very important to define within that strategy the streams that you need to focus on developing that partnership. So they can go from many different diverse angles. You know, they can start with security services by looking at market coverage. They can absolutely be encompassing product coverage. But as we know, at the heart of everything within security services is also the technology and the operations that is provided in any partnership. And it's really important to have an alignment on those common objectives whereby you're trying to ensure that partnership can be more efficient, effective. That could be a cost perspective. That could be a connectivity perspective. And ultimately, in any partnership of a security services, particularly on the provider side to our clients, it's imperative that we can bring all of those together across the globe. So the many different geographies, the many different markets where we have those strategic partnerships, we're able to bring into that partnership the commonality of global to achieve those different objectives and that common goal. So to really wrap it up, relationships and partnerships can interact or intertwine. The way I would look at it, and I think the way we look at it, is to ensure that the relationship captures the group activities, and security services is by default a very, very core component of those group activities, definitely from the sustainability perspective and the future of growing different business divisions. But actually the partnership is really the core of what facilitates the group relationship success for security services. So define a common goal, clear objective, be transparent, and then work through those different elements of transparency, both taking it from a people dynamic, an operational dynamic, a technology dynamic, and ensure all of the stakeholders that touch them, from compliance to legal to risk, are all very much part of the journey to establish the future partnership, the successful partnership that both organizations want to achieve.